Sure.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you, Larry.
this is Larry Langdon, who's basically running the sentientlight.com website, and I am doing promo here of basically the element, but I'm going to talk about Lyme and about how PMF works on the cell level. Talk a little bit about art, the one we make. Because I think it's the best on the planet, and it's really cheap. But it's very solid hardware. And anyway, I'm going to talk about that later, not right now. I guess I could talk about it right now, get it out. How many people, where does it say how many are online
We
here?
have 7 so far, but there's more,
Okay,
there's more jumping on.
Okay, so what are some questions? Maybe you could dig up some questions up on here, and where would they be?
In the chat box.
Chat box.
Yeah, where it says chat, you just click on that, and
Oops.
you can unmute people too.
There we go. There, I'll just move it over to the side. So people give me questions so I can actually, I'm going to do this really fast. And I only have an hour. So, because I got another thing going on. So, okay. So, interestingly, I did something. A guy just came in today, and we gave him a demo on his knee. He's scheduled for knee surgery, and I said, let's just try this. He's like open for it because he's, it covers most of it, but he still has to fork out. It's like $30,000 to $50,000 to get your knees done. Any rate, so I gave him a demo. I just got to get this out. So I'm promoting the DNA test, the Optimal Health DNA test. We don't have that on our website yet, but if you can do that, it's 22,000 plus DNA points that can tell you whether you can detox if you have the HLA gene problem. It tells you if you have narcolepsy. It tells you a lot of things about your health, what foods you can have, what foods you can't have. So I'm going to promote DNA Optimal Health. What's the website here? It's called, God, where is it? You could probably look it up. It's just genomics. Yeah, DNA Optimal Health. I don't know. I guess that's the .com. It's not on the card. So, at any rate, if anybody could do that, you're going to find out a lot of information about your propensities. You'll probably live about 50 years longer if you do it and have that knowledge, if you want that knowledge. But any rate, what I'm trying to do is do the webinar to teach about some of these zoonotic diseases, because statistically, I have the data, I have the studies. 88% of the country is infected with a zoonotic bacteria. And I got this, I want to tell you, after I tell you these stats, I'm going to tell you about the guy who was just here a little while ago. And he put the coil on his knee. And I'm going to tell you what happened. But first, I want to get these statistics out. So if you're over 65, it's 92.2% of people over 65 are infected with a zoonotic bacteria or disease. So you're already compromised. And what these diseases do, there's like 400 symptoms of things it can do. But it mainly does 2 main degenerative diseases. Those are neurological and they're joint. And so those are like 2 of the 400. I mean, there's a whole lot that goes along with Borrelia, and that's Lyme. Also, there's 8 pathogens that are contributing to Alzheimer's and dementia. And trust me, a lot of craziness that's out there is either a brain parasite, and statistically I have the data, I can pull that together. I just don't want to get too detailed. So basically 54% of the country has a zoonotic disease, or again, it's like, well, brain parasite. Let's just say brain parasite. Borrelia can be a brain parasite. Bartonella Hensley could be a brain parasite. Toxoplasmosis, which you get from your cat, or changing the litter box, even breathing the dust from the cat box will give you toxoplasmosis, and it's a brain parasite. If you're not healthy already, it's gonna, your immune system attacks it normally. Things are more virulent now. Things are weaponized. and I could really get into that conversation, but I want to skip that. I just want to say the data is in, studies are coming out all over the place that shows all these things can be cured or debilitated, and your life can be improved. You could be functional. So probably close to 100% of the homeless people are infected with some low-level zoonotic, and they're like Ehrlichia, Babesia, Anaplasmas, Mycoplasmas. One mycoplasma that's weaponized in Texas in the 80s is Mycoplasma fermentin incognitus. You can look that up. The name you want to look up associated with that on YouTube would be Dr. Garth Nicholson. It'll be mind blowing. If anybody got to take notes too here, Garth Nicholson. Okay. So anyway, if you follow up on anything I'm saying, anybody who's listening, you'll be blown away because this is what's happening and you're not being told. So basically, you could round it to like 90% of the country's infected and is causing all kinds of havoc, the degenerative things of joint and neurological. Okay, so this guy came in, I can't name names, but a guy came in and I did a neurological test, did the walk test and I said, spell Idaho backwards. He couldn't do it. He couldn't walk without falling, blindfolded, not blindfolded, but with his eyes closed, couldn't walk. Heavily neurological. So, but he has his knees are, okay, so that's neurological Lyme symptom, right? So I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to diagnose him, but I said statistically what they are, what's going on. So he wanted his knee coiled. And so he limped in and he walked out before and after. So, but it's only going to last a day or two. But he needs to keep coiling and it's regenerating his joints. It's regenerative medicine. So it can knock out the pain. So PMF does a lot of things. I'm going to open up some more tabs here. I'm going to drag this out of the way. So if you go to our website, you could go, there's a users tab. You get this user tab opens up if you buy a unit, because I don't like getting this out to everybody because so far everyone's trying to copy everything I'm doing, everything I'm inventing, even though we have patents coming. But I don't mind sharing, but it's a little out of hand sometimes. So anyway, the OsteoSweep is 70 to 80 hertz. It's actually really 71 to 89, but 71 to 79. But here's some studies for this. This is National Institute of Health. You can open each one of these up and read them, and you'll see what's going on with all that. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 studies in this one tab. And then here's the screenshot how to set it up on your $1.99 iPhone app, or we recommend iPhone or iPad. A dedicated iPad would be great. But if you're looking at this, this is what I ran on the guy. I'm not going to, got to be careful not to say name, but I ran it, and he actually had to come up a bunch of stairs really slow on his way here, but he could walk down and he could walk, not totally normal, but he had a lot of improvement in about a 45-minute session. So this is amazing. So if you realize what's going on, this is most of America, and my theory is the Earth field is collapsing. So, and we could actually look that up. So anyway, this tab opens up, and you could look at the Lyme plasmid sweep for those people who have Lyme. This is in a download tab of our website. You could just register and get this secret study NIH listing. It's a $250 million study. We'll just click it anyway. It's a $250 million study. There's 1,100 pathogens or so there. Where'd it go? It didn't go. How come? Oh, there we go. So you can just say download or open it up here, like however. And in this study, that's where I got the Lyme plasmid sweep from. I just looked in here, and that only covers part of it. But since since 306 is my favorite, uh-oh, that was already open, I think. My favorite line frequency is 306. That's what got me functional, okay? It cleared my brain, it cleared a lot of things. So anybody who's listening that has Lyme disease, the coil is designed to fit over your head. And if you have a really fat head, it may not fit over your head, but you can still put it on your head. But we have these great pads for the coil. And it's just really, I think what we've done and with the help and the people's feedback from the field and so on. This week I got 2 unsolicited testimonials, one in the email, one in a text, and I haven't even answered that guy yet. He wants to buy more. It's a practitioner who wants to buy more. So, you know, and I'm kind of not, I shouldn't say it, but anyway, let's go to line 77, and this goes about 5 pages to the right to make this table. So here's the next lines down. In 77, if you can see my mouse, Borrelia. So these plasmids of Borrelia, 78 through past 85, 80 something. Anyway, they're the frequencies that are in here. I mean, we've looked these up. You can't get this document online, but you could look up to verify it. You could look up, well, how many, if you look at the top here, the strain fragments, number of base pairs, length in meters, these things are available. So you could just look up like Bacillus subtilis, you would find that the strain fragment 168, these are all mass things you would look up. So this is an accurate document. Nobody could fake this. Everything we've looked up, we found. What we can't get are these all these links are gone, and the documents have been buried off the internet. It's a $250 million study. 1,100 pathogens are in here. But anyway, I don't think the coronavirus is in here, but we're going to address that too. But anyway, these plasmids, if we go to like JKNL, the plasmid sweep that I developed covers these. The plasmids are like the hatchlings. They're like the things that shut off the spirochete, okay, and grow other things, even material for other pathogens, and so there could be mutation. So this is why Lyme is so harsh, because things are changing, moving around, and of course, doctors will say you're nuts. Any rate, if you go down here, you'll see 88, 87, 86, 87, 88 are also in there, and you can look all these up. Like if we Google Bigdorferi plasmid, the genome, or LP, whatever that was. So you could, sorry for moving this, strain fragments, excuse me. So this is really cool. You can download this for free. It's been buried off the internet, but you get it from our website. So just register, open up the downloads tab right here, downloads tab, and go to the study. Also, our latest manual, if anybody wants to look at what we're doing, is ready. You can download it. I'm going to download that too. Actually, I want to open it up. So open when done. Let's do that. And there it is. And it should have the color stuff in. Oh, this is really cool. You can just put your phone on here and go, and it takes you to the tiny URLs. So it's cool. These are active links. So so you could go here. You could click Sentient. I'm going to right click it in a new tab, and so you'll go to the YouTube channel and watch our video on how to set it up. Set up, run, and placement of coil. Okay, I'm not going to run it now because you can probably hear it. So going back here, you get color glossy photos now. Okay, so anyway, something goofy to say. How to just simple things on how to set it up, run it, manage. And we have one that manages the power. So going back to here, let's go back to Oh, YouTube channel. Sorry. I just killed it. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Just these links right here take you, all of them I think are pretty much the YouTube channel here, wherever they went. So the blood sweep one is really good. Even if you don't even have our unit, just knowing this, having knowledge of this is incredible. So anyway, this is cool. I think this is great. John, our guy John here, did a really fantastic job in setting all this up. So you could get the manual now. You don't have to buy it yet. So you could start learning about the unit before you buy it. And we have things that you need to be aware of, and we make you sign. You say I agree when you to these things when you purchase it at time of checkout. So we have a discount coupon code if anybody's interested. Should I say that right now, Karen? It's Quantum Life 200, save $200. Is that right? Hopefully you're still there. Hopefully people can hear me. Can anybody hear me? I'm gonna check. I'm not muted. And
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfectly well.
Okay, so people can type in questions, right? Where do they go to type in a question?
In the chat box. So if you click on chat, it will bring up the chat box, and that's where people
I don't think everybody gets that. Oh, here's, can they do it right here? I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Everyone can chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love to do research. So people throw out some questions at me. So I was going to tell you the story here. So the guy, bottom line is we coiled his knee for 45 minutes and he basically goes, the pain's gone. I go, well, okay, here we go. Missy just popped up there. So welcome, Missy. So anyway, coiled 45 minutes, he limped in and he walked out better. It was not 100%, of course, but you could get pretty functional without getting knee surgery. It's a $30,000 to $50,000 operation. And it's got risks. And, the recovery for some people is long and some of it's really short. But also it's degenerative. In other words, your other knee you're going to have to do and your hips later. And because you have this degenerative disease, your body's going to fall apart with 400 symptoms of things that can happen because you didn't because you're just going to, the medical industry is just going to racketeer off you the rest of your life. And what's really sad is there's a fund called Unfunded Liabilities that pays for all this medical. It's the unfunded liabilities is retirement, but it's also Medicare and Medicaid. And anybody have a guess how much money that is? It's $250 trillion debt currently. Okay. So guess what, how that happened? It's because pharmaceutical companies bought and own Congress, and they just basically legislate and lobby in favor of the pharmaceuticals to pay all this insurance. So it's the insurance is subsidized, and now the insurance players, they don't care how much it costs. In fact, the more it costs, the more margin that the government's going to pay. So it's a debt that's not sustainable. Anyway, just got to throw that in because we're being lied to in so many ways. It's just another swamp that needs to get cleaned up. So this is the future of medicine. I'm going to just check for coronavirus here. I don't think it's in it under C core. Coronavirus is in there. Is that am I reading that? Corona? Coronavirus. Maybe it's circo virus. I don't know. Anybody see that? I know several people that got dengue fever virus, and it's like a bad flu. It's like you feel like you're going to die from the flu. Notice Ebola is in there, and notice the number of strain genome pairs. It's for Borrelia, it's like shy of it's like 900,000, and this is 10,000. So viruses have a low. I think viruses are easier to debilitate, and the wavelength, or the frequency and wavelength are going to be different. Anyway, that's a whole technical thing I'm not going to get into, but wow. I wish there was some, I could react with a biologist or somebody on here, because I'm learning all this and it's mind blowing. So like there's stuff that's jumping ship now, like your horse herpes virus might jump ship someday. Feline, I mean your cat or dog, or just like maybe what's going on in China. It jumps from an animal to human. So, and with all this mutation stuff going on, I don't know, it's just mind blowing to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to, we'll talk about coronavirus. Here's where you can download. This is our website. Just bring it in here just a second. Check us out. Okay. So when you go to the products tab, put in the Quantum Life 200 to get a $200 discount. So if you want to buy this, you would get, click it. And also you could select an international version, but it costs $200 more. But you could just go buy now. Oop, say no, buy now. View cart. Oh, it's going to go there anyway because I have. So what you would do is, this is like wrong information, but right here where it says coupon code, you would type in Quantum Life 200. You get a 200. Let's see if it'll apply.
Thank you, Larry. Yeah, all lowercase, Quantum Life 200.
So it did. It applied it correctly. It's right there in red.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So whatever, it doesn't matter what I put. It automatically, you pay shipping. It's typically around $60 to $80 throughout the country. Canada would be more. So that's what it's simple. You just fill it out and hit place order, just like that, just like you do anywhere. And you have to be able to check. I agree. You have to read this, okay, and check that box explicitly. Check. Because you have to read the manual, terms and conditions, and so on. Don't let it overheat. Don't go to sleep with it. I mean, it's just simple precautions and things. So anyway, that's that. Covered that. So coronavirus. Let's see if we can go.
Everyone wants to know what's happening with the coronavirus. So last week you mentioned that there's been no deaths in the US.
Yeah.
Is that still the case, or is that?
Yeah, let's go there. Let's check it out. Sorry, but you're seeing my email. Okay. So I'll refresh this page. Actually, I want to go back a page. And I'm going to refresh it real quick. Make sure. Coronavirus, 85,000 people have gotten the virus. It's probably like 10 times that. Okay. Someone calculated 52 times that. I mean, if it's 10 times, that's 850,000. If it's 100 times, it's going to be 8.5 million people. But we're close to 3,000 people that have died, and I think China is not reporting it. The good news is a lot of people are recovering, and look at this 14 days from now and see how many people are recovering. It should be accelerating, or the death rate and the people that are acquiring it should go down. So let's look at those graphs. So it looks like this used to be, deaths used to be 11%. Now it says 7%. So that is going down. Here's the problem with this curve. It just went back up. Okay. And then it was going down. It went back up. If you look at another curve. Anyway, linearly, it's like the first derivative of a curve. So let's look at age of who's getting it. So if you're 80 or over, you don't stand a very good chance statistically, even though it says 14.8%. So if you're up to 40, it's 0.2%. That's about 10 times more. Even 0.2 is 10 times more than the regular flu. So it is worse than the regular flu. But we had, I think it was like 81,000 people died of the flu last year in America. So, you know, if you think about it, if you could keep your immune system up, of course, you'd have to get rid of your 90% of us have the zoonotic diseases. So you'd have to make sure you're strong before this thing heads our way. Probably everybody, or most people, of course, are going to be they're going to get sick and like a regular flu, and then they'll be better and they'll go back to work. I don't think coronavirus is a big deal. It just looks big. And I'm going to show you something alarming though. So if you're male, it's 2.8%. You might as well add 2.8. Anyway, so going down here, who's got the total cases? Sort of by the total. South Korea, let's do this. Let's sort by new cases, okay? So the order changed. South Korea is now going viral. And I don't know what their problem is, but this is the most I've actually ever seen in one day of new cases. That number right there. And only 3 deaths. 16 deaths total, but China's got 2,835, and they have 428 new cases. So these countries, South Korea, China, Italy, Iran, and Japan are not doing very well. So here's something interesting. The health minister of Iran has the coronavirus. The president, or I can't remember if he's the president or whatever, another one, a leader of Iran, has the coronavirus. It makes you wonder, huh? So there's a whole lot I could say about that too, but it's conspiracy. Oh, look at Diamond Princess, 2 more people died. Okay, so let's go to the USA, right? Whoop, where do we go? I just lost it. Let's look at USA. We have 3 new people and nobody's died. No deaths. And 1 serious, and only 6 recovered. Give that another few weeks. Anybody should be out of quarantine and in good health, and that number will pick up. Maybe all 63, I don't know, -3. So that's been hovering pretty much around 60 for at least a week. So the hope, I have another theory, you know, all this chemtrail spraying, I think we've already been inoculated by some of it, along with whatever else they're doing, because people are fine in the US. Maybe it's okay, so I want to talk about something that I discovered and other people have discovered, and it's not out there. So people have had severe colds in their chest and sinuses, have coiled for it, and they're better within the hour, about 80% better. So the cold the virus still runs its course for whatever 2 weeks, but you're functional within a couple hours. You're like, okay, you can go to work, don't cough in anyone's face, but you're functional. You're 80% better. And I don't know if you coil the next day, maybe you're a little bit more better, but boy, if you're knocking 80% just in 1 dose, it could be the cure for a cold. That's using PMF, and that's a blood sweep type one. And you can also do your own homework and look up your own studies. How do we look up studies? Let's do that. We can go to Scholar, scholar.google.com. What is this one? I'm going to just, let me just go to Scholar. So if you look up, if you go here, it's not Google, it's Google Scholar. A lot of people don't know about this, but you could type in what? PEMF cold. Can you get, oh, look at 1,700 results. Effects of PMF exposure at different pulses on osteo, oh yeah, that's not it. Cold. Common, I'll put in common cold or something. Maybe that'll be different. Still over 1,000. It's not cold. How about cold virus? How about just a virus? Actually, I haven't done this yet, but it's cool to, so 610. TB and HIV and all that too. Wow, this is big. African swine flu, swine fever virus. A lot of people also have biofilm buildup, like in their pelvic floor, like a lot of men have. They say it's, you have prostatitis. Well, you know, it's like if you ask them, what is the itis? They don't know. They just say you have prostatitis or something, right? Well, why don't you find out, do a test for it, find out what pathogen it is, because if you know, you could probably debilitate it or take an antibiotic. So they'll just give you a general antibiotic and hope for the best, right? There's no really good feedback in the medical industry. You know, you spend an hour filling out paperwork. Where does that go? What does it do? It's not even big data. It's never going to be used. You spend all that time filling it out and it doesn't get used. Maybe your doctor will look at it for 5 seconds. Okay, they don't read. I mean, I tell you, I put the doctors to the test. Let's look up. Is there any place in here I see a virus, just common something? This one looks like it's too technical. But my point is, you could, if you really dig, I didn't think to put in coronavirus, about right there, coronavirus. Oh, there's only 5 results. See, I've never even looked at this. Is there actually a cure this way? But, well, I can tell you this much. If you have a virus, viruses don't, they live intracellularly, like Bartonella Hensley does. It's so small. What you want to do is you want to hydrate the cell. Okay, you can hydrate the cell using PMF. It's temporary. The athletes do it. Sports medicine does it. I'm sure they do it in the Olympics. And also PMF, what it does for athletes is it makes those nutritional ions of the electrolytes, you know, what's in Gatorade, it facilitates it to go through the cell wall. So if you have muscle cramp, you just coil it. And I can tell you that like shin splints can go away within hours, a couple hours, for the most part. Because I've done it. But if you have a hydrated cell, viruses don't like to live in a hydrated cell. And so if you got the coronavirus, it might be as simple as to boost your immune system is run kind of a sweep. We haven't been totally determined. I'm hoping that we'll figure this out. What is this one? I'm sorry, I'm going to go here. I'm just curious. So, respiratory patients. So I do know that this PMF works for respiratory electroporation. I think that's just, again, getting the things through the cell wall. Here's another one. You know what? I'm opening these up, and I don't see coronavirus in that one. So this is cool. This is cool. You guys are watching this live to look at if there is a possibility. I'd have to look up virus, not there, but so where it's highlighted, not the ads. I was going to go to the article, so that's a bad. It's just like it's like looking at junk mail to me. Okay, so I just killed that website. Anybody see anything there that you want? Okay, here's a good one. And I don't think they have PMF here. Let's type PEMF. Not there. Oh, there. There's only one. It's a bone, soft tissue bone issue, not corona. Anyway, there's not much data yet. Actually, PMF is FDA approved for glioblastoma, brain cancer. So the FDA says, hey, you're good to go for brain cancer even. Again, it facilitates nutrition, facilitates, uncoagulates blood, facilitates the hydration, which is really healthy for the cell. PMF does so many things, and of course you could just Google PMF and find out all that it does. There's just so many benefits. Now, okay, I got to make a distinction because people are there's like debunkers that try and debunk PMF. Well, if you do this high frequency stuff, it's actually damaging to the cell. You're vibrating with a high frequency, you're vibrating something that's smaller inside the cell, like your mitochondrial or something that shouldn't be vibrated. So if you look how a microwave oven works, it vibrates the water molecule. That's how you heat things up. So if it has water in it or the same vibration, it's like, well, it heats up, and that's what boils the water in the microwave. Okay, so it's not rocket science. It's just you just tuned the frequency to the water molecule. So there's an example of using a frequency to do something physical. Everyone's got a microwave. Come on, you got to wake up to this. So what's being repressed is what, and some of it's accidental, some of it's by design, because obviously there's people that know what I know in the pharmaceutical industry that, the higher ups, they know all this, what I'm saying. And so there's actually a study, I could probably find it. It's to run an ultrasound for a 94% cure rate for carcinoma. Doesn't even include nutrition. So you could do carcinoma, you can take chemo for it, and you have a 2.6% chance of survival after that 5-year period. To me, as an engineer, I see this as you have a 0% chance. It's so close to zero. You just have a 0% chance. Why in the hell would anybody ever do chemo? Well, it's a lot of sales and marketing and scare tactics in your doctor's office, and they make money off of doing it. So everybody's on the take along the way. I think some people need to go to prison for this. When you have a 94% cure rate, and there's actually a lot of other things. There's one that we did, or that I could look it up for you guys. Google Scholar, I could look up, it was actually fenbendazole. Is it I don't know how you spell ZOLE. I don't know if that's right. There it is. Thank goodness for Google spelling things. So you can buy this in bulk on Amazon. Fenbendazole and cancer. Okay. Okay. This is mind blowing. So you could. There's a study here. I got to find it, but it says if you diet. I think it's cancer and diet. Let's try and see if we can find it here. I think it was a dog study, canine. I'm not sure. Now, this is it right here. I'll just click on it. Combined with vitamins, you got a better chance of surviving cancer. For your own personal treatment, oh, they make you pay for it or something here. Let's go back. So, any rate, you got this high rate of cure rate for cancer if you do doggy dewormer, fenbendazole, and combined with supplements. Okay, I wish this opened up. Oh man, it also can give you cancer if you don't do it right. So you need to combine it with the right nutrition. I mean, if you take enough of anything, it's going to give you cancer. So, okay. So I know it's this doggy study here. I'll just go open it like this. We'll just go Google Scholar this guy. Okay. I'm just going to put that one in here. This is what I do sometimes all day long. Point is, it's in here. You got to dig for it. I'll let you guys do that because we're going to run out of time if I keep doing this. So at any rate, fenbendazole combined with supplements basically had a really high percentage cure rate. It's like, well, higher, better than 2.6% anyway. So I concluded that most cancers are extremely easy to cure, but because of your ignorance, my ignorance, everybody's ignorant about, what's going on. I mean, if you think about it, if you're the AMD, which makes the AMD chip, as it competes with Intel chipset for, that's our computing industry. AMD makes a Ryzen chipset, and it's got 14 nanometer wavelength of semiconductor channel length of material, 14 nanometers, not microns. So like the lime spirochete is about a micron wide, you can easily see it under an optical microscope. Okay, so I'm like, it just angers me to know what I know, and I see the ignorance, because what we're getting labs that can't see, even with an optical microscope, they can't see a spirochete. When it's that simple, looking at live blood, you can see if you have Lyme disease. Maybe you have to look at a lot of blood, I don't know, but it lives in a biofilm. Maybe it doesn't show up right away, but if you took the same amount of blood that you do for a Lyme test and then look under a microscope, or however they centrifuge it, or however they do that, you can still see us. You can see the spirochete. You could go on YouTube and you could find, let's do that. Let's do that. It blows my mind that you look who donates these microscopes to the biology departments in universities. They're crappy microscopes. And I've talked to a lot of people about this, and they go, yeah, I have a great microscope. You could go buy a 200 nanometer wavelength. They use a couple different wavelengths of light, but you can see down to 200 nanometers. For $600, you can buy this microscope. You just go, again, what the hell is going on? this is what I see this flood every single day. It's not because, it's because I worked in the semiconductor industry. Am I the only one seeing this? I don't know. But I see this stuff like, okay, an ultrasound, how about we use PMF? Let's just Google PMF for, we could type cancer. Here's cancer right here, right? 2560. Actually, I have one printed out. Let me grab it. If anybody wants to look this up, I'll just tell you right now what an easy cure for breast cancer. Okay, remember it's low intensity and frequency pulse electromagnetic fields selectively impair breast cancer cell viability. That's what it's titled. And it had like a 79% cure rate. Okay, so it doesn't even include nutrition. So you just go, what's going on? I'm living in Toontown, you know, with Roger Rabbit. Okay, so we should just go look some things up here. Let's go to YouTube. The osteo stuff is like really easy with PMF. FDA approved 40 years ago for bone fractures. Sports medicine's been using it. Tell ya, we have thousands of miles of wiring in our body, and we have 100 trillion cells, which have probably hundreds of membranes. The membranes are capacitors. As an engineer, wires or inductors and capacitors make oscillations, okay? Make a frequency. You could probably study it, look like EO 101, electrical engineering 101, and you go, oh, okay. Why aren't we doing this? It's just the new medicine. Oh, wait, was this the study I was looking for? Oh, that's a rat study. And rats are going to be different than humans, so be careful on some of these. Any rate, you kind of have to do your own homework here. I can't do, actually what I am doing is I'm doing modalities on 500 conditions. What works, what doesn't, and it may be pharmaceutical, it may be PMF with nutrition. It looks like PMF nutrition is going to win out on most of it. Sorry to say, but let's go back to. Oops. Oh, this is one of my favorite things to do every day is watch. It's called X-22 report. This is where you'll find, this is military intelligence, a guy who takes the information and presents it in a way you can understand. Anyway, they sell cool stuff on there too. It's good to watch. It's fun to watch the ads. Okay, YouTube. And I can't believe how fast time is going by. We were going to look up Lyme disease. Let's just do Lyme disease. And look at all the people that get Lyme.
Does Justin Bieber have Lyme disease?
What's that?
Does Justin Bieber have Lyme disease?
Oh yeah, you want to check that out? I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's very sad. A lot of people are getting Lyme. Avril Lavigne had it. Okay, so here's how the rich people get cured of Lyme. It's top secret. They get a PICC line and it starts at $100,000.
Wow.
So, and insurance won't pay for it. Yeah. Isn't that just a shame? So if you're rich, you get better. Okay, so anyway, that's not what I came here for on YouTube, but Lyme disease, um, microscopy, I gotta spell it right.
ROS, yeah.
My,
Oh, yeah.
micro something. There's a really good one. Um, boy, didn't used to be all this 10 years ago. This is a lot. Um, oh, um, Lyme spirochete. I don't know if that's spelled right or not. It's microscope. Ooh, okay, here we go. So here's one. I saw some really cool ones where ooh, that's ugly. Let's look at it for a second. Let's look at that one. Let's open up. Oh, I love before and afters. Let's check that one out. Ah, oh God, this is all fun stuff to look at, huh? So we're going to do a video on how watching the spirochete. I'm going to actually go. I have to go to Arizona with a research doctor, and we're going to get. We'll have all the equipment. He's got like hundreds of millions of dollars in National Institute NIH funding, basically. So let's look at this one. This looks cool. So this is just like fun stuff here. I don't have to have the sound on. Whoop. Whoop. Well, look at that, how fun that is. Look at, imagine you can't, they say you can't see this under a microscope, an optical microscope. It's such BS.
Yeah.
Does anybody like get what I'm getting? I worked in the semiconductor industry 40 years ago, and I could microprobe, I could put a probe down on a micron size channel length of material. Okay? 40 years ago. Are you telling me that the technology went backwards? Anybody? Is this just crazy or what? I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah, it's amazing to see it in this way.
So this could be, people that have Alzheimer's, this is what's in their brain. Mm-hmm. They drill through your flesh into your joints. This is causing joint and nerve degeneration. Most of the degenerative diseases are the Borrelia and Barnell-Hensley and like mycoplasmas. And also you get, when you have all that, you're susceptible, you have leaky gut and all these little amoebas and parasites are going through your intestinal wall into your blood. So I know this is horrific. Turn the sound off. Look at how cool this is. Let's blow it up. I know, getting the full screen here.
Yeah.
This is, okay, so here's coagulated blood. See how they're all stuck together like clumps? The problem with this is you're not carrying the nutrition and you're not carrying the oxygen. Now pathogens clump up your blood like this too. All of them. I mean, is it call them bugs? They're bugs, okay? We'll call them bugs. Be very technical. Very technical. Okay, with oil immersion. So look at these cells. These are all broken blood cells. And it's ugly. This looks a little more healthy. This is how your blood, I mean, your blood should have perfectly round cells and they shouldn't be stuck together. And most people actually have coagulated blood. If you're type 2, look at that. Oh, by the way, you can have hydrogen. There's hydrogen water pills you can take. It fixes your blood a lot too. Yeah, it's getting attacked by spirochetes. Check it out. You could probably find, there's a spirochete. And look at the spirochete. Okay, so the blood cell is, I forget how many microns, but a spirochete can be 1 micron wide and 20 microns long. Easy to see under a microscope. As you can see, this is optical dark field microscopy going on here. And you could see the spirochetes. I see, well, it's going too fast. See the biofilm? It's going too fast here. I'm gonna actually go ahead a little bit. You can take an Epsom salt bath and you'll feel better too, by the way. Ugly. Spirochetes are causing this. And the stuff that sheds off the spirochete is hatchling. So our Lyme plasmid is called plasmid, the things that shed off of the spirochete. They're like the hatchlings of Lyme. And so our Lyme sweep, we kill the Lyme and we also get some of the plasmids. So you can feel better pretty quickly. You get functional, but you still have Lyme. And at any rate, let's go back to the first one here. I want to find one that has I mean, if you really want to get educated, watch these the microscopy videos. There's a cool picture of a tick. Here's another microscopy one, stained. Imagine this stuff growing inside you. Oh, arcanid, it's whatever it's called. I mean, not what I wanted. Wow. See, here's the thing. I think looking at live blood is dangerous, number one. Alan McDonald, the guy who's under our skin, he ended up getting Alzheimer's. And, oh God, let's look that up. Oh my gosh, Vimeo. Vimeo, Alan McDonald, A-L-D. Probably spelled that. There we go. Vimeo, Alan McDonald. Okay, so check this out if we can find it here. Is this it? No. I should have all this queued up already. The guy that was under our skin, McDonald, Mick. Is there Mick? How do you spell McDonald? Don, A-L-D. Well, we could go to Vimeo first. Just go to Vimeo. Not what I want. I want to go to, just go to Vimeo.com, huh? Tell ya, this is Vimeo doesn't shadow ban like YouTube, by the way. So if we could search for Alan, or I don't know how you spell that, Alan McDonald. Both spelled wrong. God, I gotta spell it McDonald. Al. L-N. There's different ways to spell Ellen. Oh man, lime. Sorry, people.
That's okay.
Hopefully they're not shadow banning something here. Okay, so under our skin, under our skin, you gotta, anybody who hasn't watched Under Our Skin, go watch it. Mind blowing. Probably most of the people on here have already seen it, I would think. I think there's a Vimeo version of it too.
Ready.
Whoops, Vimeo. There it is. I just saw it. How come Vimeo. Vimeo. Vimeo, right? So you could actually watch it free Under Our Skin. There's a trailer. Okay, Amazon Prime has it. And there's part 1 and part 2. Under Our Skin. And I'm hoping I get something. Alan McDonald. God. Alan. So it's just one L. Looks like. What? Used to be free on. What is going on? Whoops. So I don't know what the deal is here. God, I don't get it. Under Our Skin. Oops. Oh. God, we got. Under the Skin. Well, they don't see it. It's not in the first page anyway. Okay, well, stay in. Well, back to this. So this does not look like good blood here. Biofilm. So it's just biofilm of time to go. You guys, I cannot possibly cover all the things I want to cover.
Very grateful though, Larry, for what you are covering. It's a lot.
I just like, I could do this all day. It's kind of fun, really. Leptospirosis. So let me stop for a second. So most of your periodontal disease is a spirochete, and it can be a leptospirosis. It can be, I'll let this run. I can play this out. It can be the Lyme, Borrelia. It can be syphilis, and that's what's causing most of what's going on in your mouth. Yeah, it's scary. And I wonder if they'll show it here. I'll drag it ahead here. Oh, there we go. So this could be in your mouth. Okay. Fresh water. Oh, look at this.
Scary.
Okay, so here's what's scary. The Lyme spirochete, this is why everybody's sick. If you don't believe me, you can do your own homework. 90% of the country is infected. This is weaponized at lab 257. That's 25 micron, and that's a big number. I mean, look at that. So you're about a micron wide, that thing is, and it's probably like 40, 50 microns at least in length. This is scary. What was I going to say? You just kind of got to do your own homework. This is scary. So the light spirochete has been found in fleas, mites, mosquitoes, 14 species of spiders, and the ticks. More than that one species, they debunk it on. There's a really evil person called Wormser he's on the panel of making policy for Lyme, and he gets paid by the pharmaceutical companies. Okay, look at this is a good example of the biology students they say they can't see something a micron that's small, but you look at the scale here, it gives you the scale, not this one, but before. Okay, so the spirochete's also been found in nematodes that are on the fruits and vegetables at the store. Okay, it's been found in the fish, so the ocean's contaminated. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. Anyway, we'll end it on this. And what you need to get better is you actually need the right nutrition. You need to make the nutrition go through the cell wall using PMF because we're eating all these crappy oils, which is makes up your cell wall. So all I can say is having the proper nutrition, and my favorite is the Joe Wallach stuff. Get out of here. Is the Joe Wallach stuff. Let's go there for a second. It's on our page. If you go to our website again, sorry, I kind of left it. If you go to the nutrition tab, if anybody we still have people on here. Oh, yeah, we got 7. Okay, these omegas. Okay, first of all, bone broth has got glucosamine in it. Turmeric is my favorite. Or you can take the products Joe Wallach, MSN, and so you need glucosamine. So your hemp seed has got as high in omega. You can go look at the label here. High in omega-3s, and that's what makes your lipid layer, your cell wall, where things can travel through it. Now I could go, and you need the plant minerals. So I highly recommend these products here. There's only 4. Whatever you have, start doing this. You'll be safe. You'll be safe. At least you'll be safe for most of the stuff that's coming our way. So again, it's spooky that you can have these spirochetes are in everything. So at the water trough, if one horse has it on their gums, the other ones will pick it up in their gums. So the water that's you just love it. It's gross. So the water trough that animals eat out of at the farms, if one of them has it, the other animal eating out of the water trough gets it. That's all I'm going to say. You got to have the earth field. So all I did was plagiarize God and made a bigger, powerful earth field. And our coil is designed to work the best in the earth field and its harmonics. I think it's the best thing out there, and there's a lot of dumb information about. This is how the spirochetes get in your blood too, even in your ingesting them. So come on. Okay, so let's go look at something. This is what's positive to me. X22 report. I'm going to let you guys all go. I would call it quits. Okay, Karen, if you want to get on, say goodbye.
So huh? I said thanks so much. I'll send you the recording and we'll put it up on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had chance for the last one even, so we will do that.
Okay. Busy's good.
Okay. Do I
Thank you
sign
for
off?
providing. Yeah, thanks for keeping us all informed.
You're welcome. I love doing this. It's hey, if you want real news, go to this place called X22 Report. Watch the latest episode. Okay. So in YouTube, type in X22 Report today's episode. And you'll get today's. Okay. There's 130,000 plus indictments ready to go out for arresting people, the bad guys. It's going to happen slowly, though. Anyway, that's all. That's it. That's all I got to say. Promoted my product. I promoted nutrition. Have fun with the Lyme knowledge. It's scary. It's everywhere. It's in our environment. And watch Under Our Skin for free. There it is for free right there.
Thank you. This is how we protect ourselves, though, isn't it? By staying.
Well, it is. We're like underground. We have to be like underground. Only a handful of people are going to hear this at a time. You know, it's a shame. It's really a shame. Okay, I'll let you go.
All righty. Thank you again. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Be well.
Okay, ta-ta, goodbye. Okay, stop sharing.